Question 10. For which range of x is the inequality x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1 greater than or equal to 0 satisfied? So for these types of questions, I like to solve them by drawing a graph, because then you can clearly see where the equation will be greater than or equal to 0. So this one's pretty tough, but let me just write out the equation. So my first attempt would be to try and factorize this. Now, if you're looking at the coefficients of each term, they're sort of 1. And also we need 3 numbers that times together to make 1. So we would get 1s here. So just to reiterate, because of this 1 here, we need some numbers that all times together to make 1, which would be 1. We also know that either all of these are positive, because this 1 is positive, but that can't be true, because we've got some negative terms here. So let's forget about that hypothesis for a second. That leaves us with, what if all of them are negative? Well, that doesn't work either, because we know that this is positive. Next, what if 2 are positive and 1 is negative? Again, that's not going to work because this is positive. So what about if 2 are negative and 1 is positive? Okay, well, that will work for this plus 1 on the end, so that's good. What about for the coefficient of x and x squared? Well, it indeed works for those as well, and I would always, as a check, re-expand whatever you come up with to make sure that you get back to this, just as a check. So we've found our sort of factorized version, so that means the roots, or rather where it will cross the x-axis, which is for where y equals 0, will be plus 1 and minus 1. And because we've got 2 of these minus 1s, which relate to the plus 1 solution, because we know that the graph looks kind of like this, this will be where this stationary point sort of sits. So let me just draw the graph. So we've got crossing points at minus 1 and a sort of point there, minus 1, plus 1. Hopefully that's clear where we got that from. And also this crossing point here will be where x is 0, so this is plus 1. Hopefully it's clear where this graph comes from. If it's not, do go away and revise sort of plotting graphs and this kind of thing. So then we're looking for where the solutions are greater than or equal to 0, which is here and here. So as you can see on the graph, this is any value where x is greater than or equal to this minus 1 here. So the answer is E.